You have to see it to believe it. You have to see it to be it. I want to make this video because it's been brought to my attention again that the mind is way more powerful than we know. I think I'll just start off with a little story. The first time I actually started to believe that you could manifest what you want in your life and what you want to have by consciously focusing on it was this one time I went to go play pickup basketball, and I was down bad. I had just broken up with a girlfriend, and I was not one to have a bad game of pickup where I didn't perform well. And I remembered my dad actually telling me, just visualize yourself, after you warm up, visualize yourself making the shot. Just try that. You got to see yourself making it, and it'll help you do it. I didn't believe him. Any other time I had shot, I would just always get upset, be like, I suck at shooting 3-pointers. I'm not gonna make it. And the anxiety or the angst would get to me when trying to make the shot. But this game, I just told myself that I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna throw away the negative thoughts, try to keep them away and out of my head, and just visualize the ball going through the net. And that game, I think the first shot I took, I missed. It was a brick. It hit the rim and didn't go in. But what I did is I just threw that memory of missing the first one out of my head, and then just kept visualizing the next one going in. I ended the game making 3 out of 5 or 3 out of 4 of those 3-pointers I took. I hadn't played basketball in I don't know how long. After visualizing it, I had done really well and started making it. So then after that happened, I started giving credit to the idea, and I was like, okay, maybe it was just coincidence, or maybe, it helps a little bit. But then I think back to anything else that I've achieved or want to get, is I saw it first in here and visualized me doing that thing. The time frame is not like, it's not going to be a day, it's not going to be a week, depending on what it is, but with enough time to lapse in between the beginning of you starting that conscious thought and repeating it in your head and seeing it and visualizing it to the actualization of that reality, it will happen if you continue to encourage those thoughts in your head. After that pickup game, a few years later, I read this book called The Science of Getting Rich. It does have a religious or spiritual essence to the book, but the main premise and the message of it was basically you have to write up and explain what you think your reality of being rich is, in exact detail what you think being rich is to you, which is crazy because you could just call it a cash grab or something or just some fluff. You just sell more copies and it doesn't really explain to you. I mean, look at how thin this book is. But you can look back at a bunch of other successful people and then tell you exactly what they did in order to get what they wanted. Those people being Andrew Tate, Jordan Peterson, and another person that support this theory would be Conor McGregor when he was speaking about this book called The Secret. So I think it was Jose Aldo. Conor McGregor was trying to fight, and he was talking about how he just visualized what Jose Aldo was going to do and how he was going to knock him out. And he just visualized the exact moment and the exact punch, and you could even see it, him practicing it in the locker room. And when the fight came around, that's exactly what happened. He'd mentioned earlier too that he'd been trying to reinforce his mind to think that way, seeing what he wanted to happen before it happened. He would put practice into doing that, so then it would become a habit that whatever he visualized was going to become reality. So then this brings me back to whenever I've wanted something or whenever I've tried to achieve something, and I know this is a fitness channel, I had in my head originally visualized exactly what my body was going to look like before I even got it. I saw and I had a clear vision of what I thought it was going to look like once I got my ideal body. It wasn't exactly within like the next day or next month, but it came within a year. It came within a year after I actually started dedicating myself and fully committing to thinking that way. That's how it was. The same thing applies with other things too in my life. So I did this I applied this with getting my ideal body. I applied this with getting it the relationships I wanted. I applied this with winning the fight that I want to win. Any skills that I've tried to achieve, I've also done that. Things that I want to do, also did that. Main thing I'm trying to get at in this video is you really do have to see it to believe it, but it has to be clear. I guess some next steps for whoever's trying to get whatever they want would be to make a conscious effort and clearly defined thing of what that is, whatever it may be, whether that's getting a degree, getting the relationship you want, getting the body you want, getting the hair you want. I think it even applies to something such as small as doing something you don't want to do. I think you visualize yourself not doing it, and that's what causes you to continue to maybe avoid doing some small task like taking out the trash or doing your laundry, but it works. And I think just like anything, it is a habit. I wonder how much of our lives are plagued with negative thoughts that continue to give us the results that we don't want. And it might just be because we keep repeating those thought patterns of what we don't want more than the ones that we do want. I think how I'm gonna relate this to fitness is just like a muscle, which the mind is. You gotta train it. You gotta train it to keep its sights on what you want, on the goal, and then you can achieve it. See all these other people talking about how to do it. I'm telling you, I've done it. I would say give it a chance if you haven't, or if you think it's phony or just some woohoo magic stuff. Give it a try. I think another person too is Jim Carrey, talking about carrying a check for like $1 million for doing a movie. He wrote it to himself and he eventually got that. I can't remember what movie it was for, but there's another example. So close off with that. Wanted to make this video that marks number 3. Just remember, you gotta see it to believe it. Starts up here and then you can be it. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a blessed day. Thank you.